friends, how you doing today? I am doing well, and happy Halloween. Yes, it's my happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. It's Friday, and it is officially Halloween. I'm doing a Halloween video on Halloween. And what would my topic be for today? The movies that I usually watch on Halloween. Now, let me not just on Halloween, but in preparation of Halloween. So listen, as far as October 1st goes, when October 1st hits, we got to watch some kind of Halloween-based movie, whether it be a kid's Halloween movie or a scary movie or whatever the whatever kind of Halloween movie has to be Halloween-oriented. We have to get at least one in a night. Now, granted, I left out a few of my movies that I have watched throughout Halloween because I like to show you things that are a little bit more different. Okay, let's just listen. I watched my Halloween. I watched my Nightmare on Elm Street. I watched my what was okay. I watched my Halloween night. I watched my Jason. Did I watch Final Chapter? Yeah, I think I watched Final Chapter. And I watched. I skipped one. I didn't watch one this year. Okay, so I went to like the Final Chapter, and I went to Jason. I think it was I watched Jason. Jason Takes Manhattan. There. Listen, those are what I watched. Okay, so I left those out, and I did get a Child's Play 3 in there this year. Left all of those out because I wanted to get to the ones that maybe not everybody watches on Halloween time. Maybe give you some ideas of stuff that you should get. Now, some stuff is not available. Let me just make this very clear. It's not available on streaming. Okay, it's not available to purchase. Some of these are out of print. Okay, so you might have to do a little hunting if there's something I show you and you're like, oh, well, I haven't seen that in years, or I never heard of that, or maybe I should pick that up. There's some stories behind it, and this is something that I think that is important for Halloween night, because listen, you might be all done with your trick or treating, okay? You might be all done handing out your candy, and you're like, hey, I want to watch a movie. What do I want to watch tonight to finish off on my October 31st? And I want to watch something, and maybe this guy gave me an idea. Now, let me make this very clear. This is not a top 10 list. This is not a pick for. This is my pick list. This is what I have decided to watch this year. Take care of that, okay? With the wife, okay. This is a group effort, okay. This is not. So let me just tell you that, like, usually when I watch like a regular Halloween or a Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm usually alone. Okay, those are alone type movies. I don't know about you, but my wife's seen them. Okay, and she kind of don't want to see them again. So I kind of like to throw out stuff that she hasn't seen in a long time, or stuff that she's never seen before. Because I always find that, like, when it comes to my wife and my kids, they always go back to like the old favorites. It's like there's other horror movies out there besides the basic classics. The Texas Chainsaw Massacres and the Nightmare on Elm Streets and the Friday the 13th and the Halloweens. There's other stuff out there besides that. So I introduced some new stuff to my wife this year, and actually she really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna shut up right. Oh, I'm not gonna shut up. I'm gonna show you, and we're gonna tell you what we got. Now, this is no apparent order. Okay, I just grabbed everything I had stacked in front of my TV because I knew that I wanted to make a video at the end of this of the 31 days. Now, there is not 31 videos here, like I said, because we did watch Coraline. Okay, we did watch Nightmare Before Christmas, which you guys might not classify as a horror movie or whatever. But yeah, my granddaughter was over, and we had to get our Coraline and Little Monsters and stuff like that in there. So I didn't bother pulling that stuff out. So here we go. First one I grabbed. Dawn of the Dead, the OG, the original Dawn of the Dead. Now, you gotta kind of think this is kind of strange because I'm like I said, I'm not putting these in the apparent order, but I grabbed Dawn of the Dead before I grabbed one of the other movies that I'm gonna show you. Dawn of the Dead. If you don't know what it is, come on. This is a iconic classic. Okay, dream movie. To me, this is a fantasy dream movie for any horror person that wants to like that's got some kind of when listen. Let me make this clear that when I watch a movie, any kind of movie, I immerse myself into it. Okay, I become one of the characters. I pick a character, and for an hour and a half or 2 hours, whatever, I'm not me no more. I am no longer me. I am that person trapped in a mall. Okay, trapped in a. I'm not even gonna say trapped in a mall. What a fantastic thought. You know, what a fantastic idea of like, you know, zombies are here, okay, and you have to go to a place, okay. And I got to tell you, the mall that they locked themselves in, they put the trucks in front of the doors, and they board it up, and listen, they do all everything that they need to do, okay. What an amazing mall. Okay, I gotta tell you, that mall had a gun shop. That mall had toy stores. I mean, it had everything. Okay, it had furniture stores. It had a big it, there was plenty of food. I mean, it was like perfection. I gotta tell you, like, no, there's some movies that when I immerse myself, I'm like, now let's get the whole bad part out of the deal. That okay, yeah, we have zombies. Okay, there is zombies out there, but be perfectly honest with you, the zombies in Dawn of the Dead were pretty stupid. And the zombies were not the problem. To me, the zombies were not the problem. To me, the people were the problem. Okay, the bikers that tried to break in and cause all those were the problem. Okay, they were blocking the doors and this, that, and the other thing to keep like so much the zombies out, because the zombies were content outside. Not gonna. Eventually, they probably would have got through the glass, but they put the trailers in front of the door. The tractor trailers, the truck, the big trucks. Okay, they put them in front of the door. They weren't the problem. Okay, it was the people. When you find these zombie movies, usually not the zombies that's the problem. It's the people that are the problem. Okay, so that brings me to my next one. So yes, immerse myself in that. I would love for a zombie apocalypse to happen and me to be locked in a mall with plenty of food, plenty of firepower, and places to sleep, big projector movies, or whatever. And I'm sure. Listen, if this was a mall of nowadays, we might have a problem because a lot of the malls are closing. A lot of malls don't have nothing in them. But if I go back to my favorite mall when I was a kid, all right, granted it didn't have a market, but it did have a Target, Walmart, stuff like that. Well, not a Walmart. Well, actually, Walmart came after, but it took place of another place that was actually that sold food too. So I would have been all set. It was actually a market attached to my favorite mall when I was a kid. So I would have had my market. I would have had a movie theater. Okay, I would have had a place that sold DVDs, Blu-rays, movies, plenty of TVs. I would have been set. Okay, so this fantasy dream, wonderful. Next one, I might as well grab it. So I watched Dawn of the Dead first, but then Night of the Living Dead. My wife never saw the original Night of the Living Dead, and I was like, how could you not see the original Night of the Living Dead? This one's a good concept too. Now think about it. I don't like to leave the house. Okay, I am not a person that likes to leave the house a lot. I am not a person that likes to interact with a lot of people a lot. I like to keep to myself. So if I had plenty of food, okay, once again, plenty of food, and I was locked in a house, and there'd be zombies outside, and people just leave me alone. Okay, I'd be happy. I'd be content as long as I had enough food. And granted, I mean, the Amazon guy might have a problem with all the zombies delivering my packages, but I'm sure by that time in the cycle of Zombie Land or whatever, um, Amazon and FedEx and UPS would figure it out. I think that they would figure out a way to deliver. Maybe they put a cage around their little trucks or whatever. Or maybe they wear like some kind of body armor or some sort. Listen, there's enough movies to figure these things out, and I'm sure I can still get my packages. I'd probably cut a hole in my door. I think like a little hole so they could like feed them through the door, because I'm not going to be opening the door for no zombies and no crazy Federal Express guy that's still working. But the deal is that yeah, I'd probably still be ordering things, and if you're still alive, I don't know how you get to. Maybe I didn't know. Maybe I didn't think that all the way through. But anyway, listen, I wouldn't mind being trapped in a house if there's plenty of food and zombies and being left the hell alone. Okay, that's it. Yeah, just me. All right, next one. Oh, Creep Show, the OG, the original Creep Show. Yes. This was I remember clearly. I remember as if it was only last Saturday, because it was. I put in Creep Show, okay, and I was gonna put in Creep Show 2, but I put in Creep Show 1. I was like, what, Creep Show 1, that's good enough. I'm good. I'm good with Creep Show 1. I'll watch that today, and then I'll watch Creep Show 2 in a couple of days from now. I still haven't watched it yet. Okay, this video is gonna go up on Friday. I got time. Okay, I got another like day. So I think I'm good. I'm gonna throw Creep Show on, Creep Show 2 in after that. After I'm done recording this. Yes, Creep Show. Little short snippets that all lead to a one big story. If you don't know what Creep Show is, little boy's got a comic book, and dad don't want her to read that trash. Dad be all, which actually was the kid who was played. I believe the child was played by Stephen King's son, and it was just great. Like the little the stories are, I think I'm gonna try to go in order. We start off with the couple that is actually cheating on the wife's cheating on the husband, and she's got the I'm sorry, it's getting to be that season where I don't want to turn the heat on and my nose be running. Um, and so he wants the guy wants to get back at the boyfriend, the lover, and the wife. So he buries him up to their neck, and I could hold my breath for a long, long time. Yeah, and then we go to this. We got the crate going on there with the monster in the crate, and we got my absolute two favorites. Okay, I love Stephen King with the whole plant thing there. Meteor. Remember he touches it, yeah, and then all of a sudden he becomes like a plant. That's classic, okay. But my biggest favorite is the because maybe it's because I don't like to leave the house, is the miserable old man that don't want to leave the house, and they got weather problems going on, and he got cockroaches. Okay, and I think because I worked for 14 years with a bunch of cockroaches, and there was tons of cockroaches everywhere, I became very not not afraid of cockroaches. I did not have a cockroach phobia. They became my friends. I was literally like the Joseph apartment of working in the mills. Okay, there was cockroaches everywhere. I put a sandwich down, sandwich would walk away. That's how bad it got. Okay, so I didn't have no cockroach issues. But the whole story of the miserable guy, and he's locked in the thing, and he just got done firing somebody. He's trying to get somebody in there to take care of his cockroach problem. Awesome. So Creep Show is like a must. It's a great. And as far as immersing myself into different characters, there's like a whole bunch of different chooses. I could choose from a whole bunch of them. Okay, and it's great. All right, here we go. Yeah, Halloween. Yes, listen. Halloween, I gotta tell you right now, is my favorite time of year. It's just October. I said this the other day to somebody. I'm like, when I used to teach the preschool, I used to tell the preschoolers this every day. When October runs around the corner, okay, when you walk out of your house, breathe. Just breathe. I don't know what part of the world you live in, but in the part of the world where I live in, October is, to me, the only time of year that has a smell. Now maybe if you live in a place where people be urinating on the sidewalk or whatever in the summertime, and maybe that has a special smell to you, but they don't do that around here where I am. So the deal is that in October you get like that fresh, crisp. It's almost like the world is cleaning itself. Like there's some kind of ventilation system going on or whatever, and you get that cold, brisk air that smacks you in the face when you walk outside. It's not exactly Christmas time. It's not cold, it's not freezing cold. Not like, ooh, I can see my breath. You know what I mean? You're at that. Ooh, it's clean. I feel happy. This house is clean. All right. So anyway, next movie, Trick or Treat. Not to be confused with Trick or Treat, the movie about the crazy rock singer that was brought back from they played a record. No, not that one. Okay, that's not the one. This is Trick or Treat. Now, my wife had this one I pulled out this year because I knew my wife had never seen it, because I personally this has been a just me favorite. Okay, this has been just a me thing. You know what I mean? There's certain scenes in it that kind of made me always feel a little uncomfortable around my wife, or would have made me feel uncomfortable around my wife. But I'll tell you right now, maybe in my crazy head, you know how they say that some horror movies, like what they don't show is what's the scariest. Like a lot of these directors or writers and stuff like that, like Toby Hooper and stuff like that, when he did like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's like what you don't see and what your imagination makes you see. Like there's actually no like real chainsaw cutting, or you don't see nothing in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Matter of fact, they were trying to get a G rating. If you knew that. Matter of fact, I didn't take out Texas Chainsaw Massacre, by the way. I have watched it, didn't pull it out, and I watched part 2. Love part 2, love it so much. Chop Top. They're making a Chop Top figure, a new Chop Top figure. I'm very excited about that. I'm gonna buy it because Chop Top is like hands down one of my favorite characters. Okay, let me get off the Bill Moseley. Big shout out to Bill Moseley. Chop Top, amazing. Okay, everything Bill Moseley does, amazing. Otis from Driftwood from Devil's Rejects. Yeah, so in my head, I don't know, for some reason I was thinking the whole vampire scene was a little more erotic. Is that the word I should be looking for? Erotic than it was. I mean, actually, I felt bad because I kind of been putting off watching this with my wife, and because I never feel comfortable like watching those kind of movies where there's like a lot of grotesque whatever. Because I'll tell you right now, what happens is my wife looks at me like I wrote the movie. Okay, like one time we put in Death Wish. I think it was the original Death Wish. Okay, and you know how Death Wish has like a certain scene, and the movies like I Spit on Your Grave and stuff like that. You know where they have those kind of scenes. You know where it's like the real traumatic type of scenes there. The wife will look at me like almost like I'm disgusted in you, and like I wrote it. I didn't write it. I just enjoyed the movie. I think the movie's great, and as far as Spit on Your Grave stuff, I love those vengeance movies. I'm not happy with what happens to the main the final girl, okay, or the star of in the beginning, but that's context to why she has to put wrath on these terrible people, okay? But the wife would always look at me like, even with Death Wish, you got that, if you ever seen Death Wish with the original Charles Bronson, you know, there's a scene in the beginning with his wife and his daughter, and my wife, I remember, we're laying in bed, I'm watching it, and she's behind me, and she's like sticking her head up over me, and she's like, oh. I'm like, hey, listen, I didn't write the stuff. I said I just like the movie Death Wish, and I like Charles Bronson. So anyway, yeah. So this was very mild, as I guess for some reason my mind made it into something bigger than it was. I might have did one of these things. Like I was in the bed and I didn't want to see it. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I was doing something wrong. But hey, Sam is a great character. I wish there was more Sam. That's the only thing I wish. I wish that I know this was like little like backwards and forwards and backwards. This one is one of those where you're watching, you're like, are we at the beginning? We at the end? We at the beginning? We at the end? I don't know where the hell we are, because we're doing flashbacks, we're doing flash forwards, we're doing flash sideways, we're doing flash all over the place. But in the end, it's kind of like a creep show type vibe. Okay, it's good. And Sam is an excellent newbie horror character. But the funny thing is, he's not even a newbie anymore. I'm saying newbie, but it's because me and my wife watch it. And when I watch it with my wife, I'm like, she's like, how old is this movie? And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking it's new, okay, like newer, but it's probably over 10, 15 years now. I don't know, and I'm not gonna waste your time by looking at the back. You guys can comment below. Let's comment. Like, share, subscribe too. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. This is what I do here. Okay, so it's 7 days a week. In the morning, 6 o'clock, you get a short, and on Fridays and Saturdays, you get some big videos. At 6 o'clock at night, and whenever I get something new or hot or big or whatever, this is my little public service announcement. The little thing, I'm gonna shoot across the thing over here where you're supposed to subscribe, or you're supposed to like, or you're supposed to look in the description and help me out if I got some kind of financial situation going on. This is the part where you pause for a minute and be like, hey, I enjoyed this content, and I think I'm gonna give this guy a like or subscribe, or watch it all the way till the end, and make sure you watch the commercials, because that's how YouTube gives me my lovely 30 cents per commercial. I guess I get 30 cents per commercial. I think that's what I get, like 30 or 10 cents per commercial. So it's ridiculous. All right, anyway. Enough of that public service announcement. See, I don't have a sponsor, so I gotta sponsor myself. Motel Hell. This is one that a lot of people have never seen. This is one that my father used to force me to watch when I was a child, and I'm talking a child. Like when I was like 5, 6 years old, my father was like this was on like Showtime or Cinemax or one of those channels, HBO, what it was on all the time. And for some reason, he would like sit down and watch this. You know what I mean? And I guess in his mind, he did not think that a movie about a father and brother, brother and sister that run a hotel slash beef jerky type place. Okay, gotta make the best jerky because it takes all kinds of critters to make Farmer Vincent's fritters. Okay, and he's actually listen. I'm not gonna try to spoil anything for you, but he be hacking up people and he be using humans to make it's almost like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like to make the chili. They're making the chili. But hey, this is a really good movie. Listen, he not only like sets up these different booby traps to catch people, so he can turn them into his famous fritters. He literally like harvests them. He puts them in the ground, and he puts psychedelic lights in front of their eyes and everything like that. And then he keeps feeding them through funnels and everything, and fattens them up to get them where he needs to get. And then, but it's also a love story. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't personally, maybe as a child, listen, this one of the girls that he ends up getting the boyfriend, and he buries him up to his neck, and My daughter hates when I do it. For years, I've been doing that thing. I could probably do it like one or twice, but maybe because I'm getting older, my vocal cords are messed up. But when my kids were little, and I used to watch this with them when they, well, I'm not saying little because I didn't do what my father did with me like 5 years old, but when my kids were probably about maybe like 10 or whatever. And I would go with my dog and do that thing, and my dog would be like, "Stop doing that! That drive me crazy! That drive me crazy!" But listen, great movie, okay? Great movie. And they even made an action figure of this the Farmer Vincent with the pig head on. So that goes to show the popularity of this movie throughout the years. Now, back in the day, it was just something on the shelf that I would see in the video store, and I'd be like, "What is that?" And my dad would be like, "Yeah, we renting that because that's a good one." Let Me In, starring Chloe Moretz. Am I saying that right? Is this the Chloe Grace Moretz? I'm sorry. This is a newer, and when I say newer, 10, 15 years, 20 years probably now or whatever, a movie that I have been watching every year. And it's literally a vampire movie. It's a child vampire movie with a couple twists. And I don't want to tell you what the twists are because if you've never seen make sure you get Let Me In, not Let the Right One In. They got the Let the Right One In, and then they got Let Me In. Let the Right One In is actually a foreign one. Okay. Almost masks this movie identically. I bought it finally. I was like, I heard a lot of people saying you like Let Me In, you probably like Let the Right One In, and I was like, okay, I'll pick it up. But it was one of them like foreign movies where it's not text, it's not a reading thing there, but it's definitely not it's British, I think, or something, or English, or England, or whatever. I'm not 100% sure, but they have an accent. Okay, there's an accent going on there. It's just, I'd say it's just as good as this, but I prefer the Chloe Moretz vampire girl over the other vampire girl. But I will throw it out there, being the fact that the other movie is a little bit more foreign, it is a little creepier. This one's more entertaining, where the other one's a little more creepier. This one's a little more graphic, where the other one's just a little bit more creepier. This one they really pushed the envelope, but it's pretty much the same movie. But make sure if you want to try them both out, try them both out. But I recommend Let Me In over Let the Right One In. I'm just saying because I started with Let Me In first, and then I went to Let the Right One In. I would go that way too. That's just me. You guys can comment below. Comment below if I'm right or wrong or what's going on. Boom. Thinner. Yes, Thinner. Stephen King's Thinner. This was adapted from one of his short stories, I guess. Whatever. I do a little research. Listen, like I used to tell kids at preschool, YouTube is not just good for just watching cats fall off of couches and jump into blinds and stuff like that, and watching people fall downstairs. Okay, you could get educated by watching some YouTube, and every year I watch Thinner. Every year, and then this was the year that I was like, you know what? My wife was like, "What do you want to watch tonight?" I'm like, "No, what? I'm gonna go pick. I'm gonna grab something I know you have not watched yet." Okay, there's a couple of them in there, and I know there's a couple of things that you have not watched. It's something that I watch every year, and have you seen this? She's like, "No, I don't remember seeing that one." I'm like, "Then we need to see it." Very simple plot line. Okay, the guy is a no good lawyer, and he gets a little drunk one night, does some stuff, whatever, ends up hitting a gypsy woman. And they put a curse on him, and he puts and this guy with this big melanoma thing or whatever, he goes, "Thinner," across his face, whatever. And all of a sudden, the guy in the movie, he's big fat guy, sorry, I don't like to use the word fat because that's a preschool thing. Plump or chunky or morbidly obese. Listen, I don't know what you want to call it, but listen, he's a big guy, okay? And so he can't lose no weight, eats a lot, whatever. So the gypsy guy, because he just killed his daughter, he goes, takes his thumb and puts it across his face. He goes, "Thinner." And the next thing you know, the whole movie is about how he's like wasting away into nothing, but he's trying to get this curse off of him. And all of his friends that were involved in the whole thing, everything's happening to them. Great movie. And I know what I gotta love. I gotta love the fact that Stephen King could like write a book, okay, and then like put like, let's say 15 different like short stories in a book, like Children of Corn. Children of Corn started out, I'm pretty sure, as like a short story in one of the. Maximum Overdrive was another one. I think it was a short story in a book, and all of a sudden, like the Silver Bullet, I think it was another one too. I'm not sure if they got like full books, But so anyway, I could be wrong. You can comment below because I tend to be wrong sometimes. But I love when they take like a short story. I'm pretty sure Thinner was one of them though. It was a short story in one of his books, and they turn it into like a whole like hour and a half, 2 hour long movie. I mean, that's imagination. This is a good movie. All right, so yeah, you wanna watch one of these like edgy of seat. What's gonna happen to this guy next? Then it'll be a movie. Next one, classic. Okay, now I did watch the new one. Okay, the new one. Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to keep away from the new horror icons that are like we know, like the Freddys and Jasons and Leatherfaces, all that stuff like that. But this one is near and dear to my heart because I watched this with my kids. It's a little bit long, little tough watch. You know what I mean? It's got some ups and downs because it was a made-for-TV movie. But we're talking about the original Stephen King's It. Yes, the original one with Tim Curry as Pennywise. Yes, because I'll tell you right now, Tim Curry as Pennywise scared the bejesus out of my children more than Skarsgård did. Okay, we watched maybe because now they're adults. Okay, but I gotta tell you, even myself as a younger adult watching it on TV, and I know I'm pretty sure it lasted all week long because it was like a long thing. And now it's cool because they put it on Blu-ray now, and you get like the whole thing on like it on one disc, so you can sit there and watch like when. Personally, I prefer when they were kids. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you, even with the new It, I enjoy watching the first It. And then the second It is a little bit tough for me to I just think that the first half of It or It One or whatever has a Stand By Me, Goonies, Stranger Things feel. And I love those movies. I love that immersing myself as a child, being haunted by some crazy clown. I just love that kind of stuff, or Goonies or stuff like that. You know, it's like, so I think maybe I relate more with the kid thing than but I know that it has to tell a whole story. So that's not a problem, but it's a problem because I think that it could have been just like them as kids, and we could have just left it at that. But I understand that we gotta complete it. We gotta figure out what happened to them in the future and everything like that. But I gotta tell you, I enjoy watching this up to the part when like they stop being kids, and then once we get like the John Ritter character in there, we get the guy from Night Court in there. I can't remember his name, but once we get them in there, I'm a little like. I've been here for a while. But listen, but as far as Pennywises go, Tim Curry, props to everything Tim Curry does. I love the man. Love him. Matter of fact, I got an autographed Pennywise Tim Curry autograph. That's how obsessed I was with Tim Curry as Pennywise. I think he's great. All right. 13 Ghosts. Yes, listen, this is going to be a little bit of a video. Hang in there with me. We're here. October's got 31 days in a month, okay? And I'm not even showing you everything I watch. I'm showing you most of the stuff I watch. So we're going to be here for a little while longer. Just a little, maybe about 7 more discs longer, 8, maybe 8, maybe 9. I don't know. 13 Ghosts. Yes, guy inherits a house. His original apartment, a house burns down, loses his wife. Family's all distraught. Everything's all a mess. All of a sudden, he inherits this house from his uncle that he's never met before. And the uncle be trapping ghosts in the house. He putting spells all over the place. Don't go into the basement. Go do this. But once again, it's another one of those problems with people. Okay, it's problems with people movie. Okay, you got the scumbag lawyer that goes in there and he's trying to find the hidden money. But unfortunately, the hidden money is where you go to unlock the gates of hell, and all of a sudden the ghosts are now free walking through the thing. But you can only see the ghost if you're wearing the glasses. And I gotta tell you right now, as the immersion person that I am, okay, immersing myself in this movie, I was like, you know what, the house is beautiful. Now I wouldn't want to live in the house because the house was completely made of glass. So I'm just picturing myself in the shower, and like the neighbors in the woods be like, oh. They don't want to listen. That's a horror story in itself. Okay, I just picture them being like, get some curtains for that house. But if you've seen 13 Ghosts, the house is beautiful. Okay, and what is in the house is beautiful. And I gotta tell you right now, I could probably live with some ghosts in the basement. I'm fine with that. Matter of fact, the house that we live in right now, I hear some stuff sometimes, and I'm like, you stay where you are, and I'm fine with that. Every once in a while, I'll go down there and visit you because I gotta shut the hot water on, or go do the laundry or something like that. Listen, I'm fine with it. You were here before me. I'm not here to mess with your gig. You can do whatever you want to do down there. But just don't like knock over my toys or mess up my stuff or do anything wrong that's going to hurt me or my family or whatever. But you're fine. Listen, we've been here for 20 years, okay? And you haven't bothered me, and I don't bother you. When I got here, there was all kinds of crosses all over the basement, and they're still there. When I moved in, I'm telling you right now, this house was completely empty. But for some reason, there was like random crosses all over the place in the basement, and I was like, when we moved in, I left every single one exactly where it is. I was like, hey, if we had a young priest and an old priest in here at one point in our lives, and they put these things here for a reason, they're here for a reason. I'm gonna leave them there, and I'm gonna be like, okay, and I'm not really like a super superstitious person, but they there for a purpose. They were there for a reason. They stayed there. They're still there. So yeah, I could definitely live in a house of glass with all that cool stuff in it if the ghosts just stay where they are. Now I just wouldn't go down the basement. And matter of fact, some of the ghosts were a little bit lovable, and I bet you I could have I probably could have started a relationship with some of the ghosts. You know what I mean? Like literally, I probably could have went downstairs and brought up a chair. As long as I stayed in my little area with the things and everything, and sat there and brought up a chair and had some conversation. Put my glasses on, had some conversations with some of these ghosts. And some were just a little bit, I think, misunderstood. I think we had a couple of misunderstood ghosts downstairs in that basement. All right, next one. Fright Night. Yes, Fright Night. The one of the best vampire movies, right next to one of the other movies that I'm going to show you in a little bit. This is my foreign Eureka copy of it. Okay, I got the Steelbook one over there, but I don't mess around with no Steelbooks, so I go with my Eureka version of it, which is perfectly fine because it plays fine, it looks great, and I love it. Classic vampire movie. So I gotta say, listen, it's one of them. I'm gonna say it again. I said it before. I said it again. Matter of fact, I say it every year. Mind your business. Mind your business. This movie's all about there's a moral lesson about this movie. Okay, Fright Night has a moral lesson. The moral lesson is, keep your damn head out the window, Mrs. Kravitz, okay? Stop watching the neighbors, bringing in prostitutes or whatever, and then them not coming out, or them digging holes in their backyard and stuff like that, like the burbs. Listen, mind your business, okay? Listen, I don't know my neighbors. I don't know what they do. I don't care what they do. That's their business, okay? Whatever they're doing, that's their problem, okay? I might be living next to, like, Ed Gaines or one of those guys, or Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't know, but the deal is, as long as they ain't messing with me, or my family, or my property, or anything, we good. Okay, we good. Listen, do whatever the hell you want. Matter of fact, I don't even have a problem with them having parties. They have parties next door, and the music be playing. I'm not one of these neighbors that'd be like, hey, can you lower the music? It's 11 o'clock at night. I moved to the other side of the house. I'm like, hey, you be you. Listen, you pay for that house. You pay for your property. You do whatever the hell you want to do. Just listen. If you're gonna cook on the grill, don't put it too close to my fence and light my house on fire and get my siding all messed up and everything. Just put the grill a little bit closer to your house, okay? We had a neighbor that had a pool too close to our house one time, and we had a bad storm, and the pool fell down, and literally it totally like drowned out my basement. But he wasn't nice enough to come over and say, listen, you know what? I just totally flooded your basement because my big pool that should have never been next to your house to begin with fell down and collapsed or whatever, and totally just came in through all your windows and everything and messed up half your basement. Okay, he didn't come over and come out and say that, but he was nice enough to come over and give me some concrete. Okay, give me some powdered concrete stuff there so I could fix my house with. But he never admitted. But I know because listen, he had like 50 bags of concrete for some reason. I have no idea. But the funny thing is, he didn't even bring them over. His wife did. He had his wife bring her over. She was a little lady, and he's like, oh, let me help you out there. Let me bring you over some concrete. I'm like, free concrete? It was like what, $10 a bag or whatever? Yeah, okay. I mean, I got a trench dug on the side of the house here. I mean, all the carpets in my basement are completely ruined, and you destroyed probably about $8,000, $9,000 worth of stuff in my basement. But you know what? You're not admitting to it, and I don't. And look, once again, I'm on my business. Okay, I'm not trying to start no arguments with you. You just listen. You flooded my basement, but you don't want to admit to it. But you gave me some concrete, and it was probably good for me to get a little exercise. Nothing was seriously destroyed except for the rug. The rug was a problem. Anyway, yeah, Fright Night. Vampire moves in next door. Whatever. That's why I gotta say, listen, vampire moved in next door for me. I have no problem with it. I don't care. Matter of fact, if I had to be a character, or had to morph into something, or be requested to be, like, what would you like to be? Would you like to be a vampire? Listen, I'm up there with the vampires. I wouldn't mind being a vampire. Okay, I'm shooting for the Invisible Man. Okay, because I think that would just be fun. Can you imagine just like walking into like different places, whatever, like a store, you want something or whatever, and you just like, you unravel and stuff like that. And like all of a sudden they're walking by, and all of a sudden there's all my Tuesday Blu-rays and 4Ks just walking out of Walmart. Like this, you see them bouncing through the room or whatever. Listen, that's what I think. Or like bags of money from the bank. Hey, it's never gonna happen. So this is all my crazy head, but Yeah, and vampires. What's the problem? I don't like to go out during the day anyway. I get stuff delivered to my house from Amazon and eBay and stuff. I'd be perfectly fine with being at home all day and then going out at night. You know what I mean? The whole drinking blood thing there, that's, listen, I guess you can grow accustomed to anything, after a while. Next one I introduced to my wife this year, and she thought it was great. We watched right from the beginning to end, and if my wife stays up to the end of the movies, you know that she content and at the edge of her seat. And it's another Stephen King, Needful Things. Yes, the devil be come into town and he be granting everybody their wishes, everything that they ever wanted, everything they needed, but it comes at a cost. The cost is you got to go do sneaky stuff for him to get the whole neighborhood and the whole town against each other, because this one going over there and doing something to this person, and then this one doing something to this person, but they all doing it like so that it doesn't like come back on them. It comes back on another person. So people be hating each other that shouldn't be hating each other, because they didn't really do anything. It's actually a really good story, because it's this. You go into this guy, he opens up like a curio shop, or well, what would it be? Probably like a thrift store, almost like I call it, or an antique store. There you go. And anything you want. Oh yeah, you go in there, it's there. It's there. It's like, this kid, I want a Mickey Mantle card, Mickey Mantle rookie. He's like, oh, I have a Mickey Mantle rookie card, and it's signed to you. And the kid's so stupid, he like, wow, it's exactly what I wanted. Now, to me, I'd be like, that depreciates the value. Because number one, this can't be real. It's going to be fake. I'm going to have to call Beckett or PSA or JSA, whatever, get this authorized, because I wasn't alive when Mickey Mantle was playing baseball. So how would I get an autograph card made out to me? Kid was a little stupid, but he starts the whole chain reaction of everybody fighting against each other and everything. But Needful Things, great movie. And Needful Things also, the title means you go into this antique store and the things that you think you need, he got. But it comes, you be working for the devil. Okay, you're working for the devil. Great movie. Great movie. All right. Next one. Boom. Has not gotten a Blu-ray, 4K, or any kind of release yet, beside the DVD. Why? Don't know. Don't understand. Listen, please. Consider it. Somebody consider it. Strangeland, starring Dee Snider. Yes, Dee Snider as the psychotic. I put him in the same qualification as the guy from Silence of the Lambs. Okay, listen, he be like kidnapping people and doing stuff in the basement, and he's big into like piercings and like pinhead type torture type thing there, and he got. It's like it's a whole thing going on, okay? And he's just an evil person, and then he gets rehabilitated, and supposedly he's supposed to be all fine, but the neighborhood, like the world knows what he did wrong, so they push him back over the edge again, goes back to his old ways, and it's just a great movie, and I remember the promotion for this movie. It was so big at my video store that like they had posters and stand-ups, and everybody's like, Dee Snider in his first ever movie and this, that, and you got to see it. Dee Snider from Twisted Sister, in case you didn't know. You got to see it, and I saw it, and I was like, wow, what a great movie. But why has it not gotten a different kind of release besides the DVD? Now, I will tell you that DVD plays perfectly fine, looks perfectly fine, and I should be just like content that be happy that I have a DVD. Matter of fact, is this the only DVD one I grabbed? No, I grabbed another one. Yeah, there's a couple of movies that just have not gotten a 4K Blu-ray release yet, and Strange Land is one of them. And yeah, it's pretty cool. He's like on the internet. He lures you in with this cool name, Captain Howdy, and which I believe Captain Howdy is from The Exorcist. Yeah, it was I believe Captain Howdy was the demon that was talking to Reagan, but yeah, so he's on he's got his like his little channel thing there, and he's reaching out to these girls and stuff, and they stupid enough to show up. Okay, that's what I gotta tell you. Listen, another lesson movie. Okay, don't talk to strangers on social media or on the internet, because they could be wackadoos. Okay, they might chain you up in the basement and start doing nipple piercings or something like that. Some strange stuff might happen to you. They might have some kind of torture chamber or something. Don't go to their house. Don't friend them. You don't know them. Don't listen. Don't talk to strangers. Okay, listen. Horror movies are lessons. They're lesson movies. All right. Wouldn't be anything Halloween or anything nowadays, whatever, without my precious Abigail. Yes, I don't have to get into a lot of detail. Little vampire girl, cute as a button, rip your throat out. Love it. And the storyline, and I gotta tell you, like from beginning to end, I love the characters in this thing, the character development. You learn to love the characters, and then you kind of like, oh man, that one went, and then that one went, and that one went, and just the little girl herself is just such a great actress. And I snorted. I made snorted noises. It's such a great actress. She does such a great job as a little vampire girl, kind of like Chloe Grace Moretz. She did a great job too. And I got to give credit where credit's due. Listen, not all kid actors nail it. They don't nail it. Some struggle through it. Like that little boy from Damn Pet Cemetery. That kid still to this day. Just the sight of him just irritates me. I think he ruined the movie for me. I don't know. I don't mind Pet Cemetery, but that little boy there, that's not fair or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I just my wife thinks it's funny. It's a horror movie. It shouldn't be funny that this. Look how cute he is. He shouldn't be cute. He dead. You know what I mean? It's like not. It shouldn't be cute kid. He dead kid. I like my vampire little girls to be a little bit creepy and to have a little comedy going on. So this movie is not so much horror. It's a harmony. It's a horror comedy. I like the Lost Boys. I love that. All right. Let me move these forward. Grab these back. Boom. So I have my room here so I can see what I'm dealing with here. Next one is The Exorcist. Yes, the OG Exorcist. And the only reason why I just brought this on this year, actually, sometimes I bypass this one because I've seen it so many times. But we went to Salem, the where the witch trials and stuff are going on, and yeah, I was like they were playing The Exorcist, and I wanted to see The Exorcist, but we brought my granddaughter and my grandson, and I was like, we can't go see The Exorcist this year. We can't go to the movie theater, so I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna put on The Exorcist and I'm gonna watch The Exorcist. Now let me explain. If you don't know what The Exorcist is about, it's about The Exorcist. It's about exorcism of a little girl that gets possessed by a demon, and that's the whole story right there. I'm not gonna listen. Exorcist is a classic. If you don't know what The Exorcist is right now, you probably shouldn't even be watching this channel. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I'm still going. Here we go. Happy Halloween. The Lost Boys. Cry, little sister. What Halloween like time movie would not be? Listen, October, November, December. Hey, listen, every month good for the Lost Boys. Let me tell you that right now. The Lost Boys one of my classic favorites, along with another one I got over here. But I'll tell you. Excellent vampire movie, and something that I've done a little research on recently. I've been doing a little Lost Boys research, and I didn't know this. And tell me, comment below if you knew this. If you knew this, the Lost Boys was actually made after Peter Pan. Yeah, I blew my mind. Yeah, listen, if you're hearing this for the first time, I watched a documentary where they were talking about at the time when the Lost Boys was coming out. I believe they Disney re-put out Peter Pan. I think it was on VHS or whatever it was, and all of a sudden people were going Peter Pan crazy, and they were writing like a lot of Peter Pan remake type movies. And originally the Lost Boys was supposed to be all about the kids. Now think about the title itself. What were the name of the kids from Peter Pan? The Lost Boys. And literally it was like the vampires were trying to transform the other kids into the vampires. You know what I mean? So I listened to this I watched this documentary thing, and I listened to the podcast thing too. And I was like, wow, you know what? That never dawned on me. The title, The Lost Boys, would be something Peter Pan related. And yeah, it was kind of like, they were vampires and they were trying to recruit more vampires into the Lost Boys. It was, and one of the big lines is, you never grow old. You'll never die and you'll never grow old. Peter Pan. It's all. This is a Peter Pan movie. That's what this is like. This is a vampire Peter Pan movie, and I didn't even know it. And for years I didn't know it. So that was a little bit of a shocker to me. Okay, and I hope that I just gave you guys a little cool information that is kind of a little bit shocker to you. If you already knew it, comment below. Listen, stupid. I already knew it. The Lost Boys been around for a long time. Listen, I saw Lost Boys when it was in the movie theater for the first time, and I was all like, "It's got Corey Haim in it. I'm going to go see it," because he had just done License to Drive, and he Dream a Little Dream, and all of those like classic Corey Haim movies, there, Lucas and all stuff like that. I just liked Corey Haim, and I was like, oh, we got Corey Haim, and then we got Corey Feldman. Now let's get this very clear. I know Corey Feldman is a big name, especially using Friday the 13th and stuff like that, but I wasn't drawn to a Corey Feldman. Okay, I liked Les Anderson from License to Drive. I thought Corey Haim was just cool back in the day. Even when he did Firstborn and stuff like that movie, I just thought Corey Haim was like cool. He was like he was dating Alyssa Milano. Okay, I wanted to date Alyssa Milano. Okay, so me and him had a couple things in common, and I was like, ooh, Corey Haim. I want to listen. You wanted to be that man. Okay, you wanted to be Corey Haim. I don't want to be Corey Haim now, but I at that time, okay, I was like, ooh. What's this guy got? This guy got he's getting all the best roles. He getting all the best girls. I think even did he date Drew Barrymore too? Listen, in the back Drew Barrymore heydays of like Playboy magazine and stuff like that. Anyway, listen, I'm that age, so I can talk like that. Yeah, Lost Boys, excellent. Poltergeist, the OG. But I'll tell you right now, I'm good with a Poltergeist too. You're gonna die in there. Oh, open the door. That the old man there, I'm down with that too. But I gotta go with the OG only because I start with the OG, and then I usually do. Actually, I can do Poltergeist 1, 2, and 3. I'm not too good with the remake. I'm not too gung ho with the remake, but I can definitely do me a Poltergeist franchise 1, 2, and 3 because I love all of them. I think they're all great. I think I like the hotel one. You know, with they're in the big high riser there, part 3, where a lot of people didn't like that one. I like that one. Part 2 with the old man, the creepy old man, that you're gonna die in there, guy. Listen, when he told me through that mesh, that dirty mesh door there, you're gonna die in there. I believed him. I believed him. Listen, and supposedly he was the guy from part 1 that was keeping the little girl on the other side there before the mother got sucked into the thing and dropped through the ceiling full of slime, and they were throwing tennis balls up into the and then they throw a rope in it. Listen, this was just a great fun. And I'll tell you right now, this movie does not scare me any way, shape, or form. Matter of fact, most of these movies don't scare. I don't scare very easy. I don't have like a movie that like, ooh, I'm so scared. Horror movies really don't really scare me. They kind of entertain me, more than scare me. But I will tell you that Poltergeist I don't think ever scared me. It was kind of like it was just cool. And then you got the little lady there, and Carol Ann, stay away from the light, Carol Ann, stay away from the light. Listen, I love that little lady. And she should have been in more stuff. Okay, I think she should have been in a lot more movies. She was a very underrated little actress there, and I think she was great in it. But she always forever gonna be known as the lady that stay away from the light, Carol Ann. Call out to her. Tell her you need her. You told us not to go to the light. Now I'm telling you to go to the light. It's great. It's a great movie. It's about haunted house. Okay, they removed the headstones, but they left the bodies. Okay, listen. Once again, morals, okay? Don't build your house on top of an Indian burial ground, okay? The Indians be sleeping. When you build your house on top of them, you wake them up and you're taking their headstones away. Don't do that, okay? Horror movies are common sense. These are not, listen, maybe they're not, maybe they shouldn't be called horror movies. Maybe they should be called common sense movies, okay? That's what I gotta say. Like this one, Jeepers Creepers. Love this movie. Okay, I'm gonna skip around over here because the next movie I put in line will explain a little bit more about the situation with my Jeepers Creepers. I love the Jeepers Creepers character. Once again, another one of those things. Why? Okay, with all the transportation we have nowadays, okay, and all the places you can go in the world, why do you got to pick the rural? I'm using that word, rural road in the middle of nowhere to take your beautiful car that's an antique. Listen, I got a not a newer car. My car's probably about 20-something years old, but this car was older than that, okay? But you're taking your antique car that may possibly break down if you're on a rural road and you're not going to have, like, listen, so many things could go wrong, could have gone wrong in this movie besides the fact that they ran into the Jeepers Creeper, okay? The deal is that car could have broke down. They could have ended up with those guys from Wrong Turn, okay? They're fixing their car or something like that. You know, the guys that, like, they married their sisters and stuff like that. You could have ran into that problem, you know, where they're like, oh, you know, I'm going to fix your car. Why don't you go stay at the hotel down the street? If you stay down at the hotel down the street, it's going to, you know, you're going to be perfectly fine. But really, it's being run by, like, my sister that's, like, an axe murderer or whatever. Like, listen, so many things could go wrong. But in this case, these people are just stupid. They see somebody dropping what looks to be bodies in a hole, and they're like, oh, let's pull the car over and see what's going on over there. Somebody may be in trouble. Listen, if I think somebody may be in trouble, I'm going to go to the next town. I'm going to call the cops. I'm going to say, listen, I saw somebody dropping some bodies in this hole over the thing over there. Somebody might be in trouble. Listen, that's why we have police. Okay, listen, that's job security for the police. Okay, let them go over there. Let them go check it out. Why all of a sudden you got to become like a Nancy Drew and you know, Sherlock Holmes and try to figure out why somebody throwing bodies or what looks like bodies in a hole in the ground? And on top of that, he's driving a big ugly truck thing with this big horn behind it. I don't understand the thought process. People in horror movies be stupid. A lot of stupid people in horror movies, okay? Go to the next big town. And I'm not even saying go to the next little town, okay? Now, let me get this very clear. I'm not stupid, okay? If I see if I'm in the middle of a rural area in my 57 Chevy that I know is probably gonna break down because it's a 57 Chevy and it's been around for a long time and the engine might be going or something. Listen, even if I was driving in my 2025 whatever, it's still a chance the car could break down. But the bottom line is, if I see somebody dropping bodies in a hole or what looks to be bodies, I'm not even gonna go to the next town where their brother might be running the next, might be the sheriff over there. I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The remake one. He could be the sheriff for the next town. I'm not going to the next town. I'm gonna go to the biggest city. Like I might go to like New York or Boston or Los Angeles or something like that. I'm gonna go to a big place. And then I'm gonna make the phone call. I'll be like, listen, I know I'm safe here because listen, there's no, I haven't seen any of these horror movies where all of a sudden the horror character be in like a big city, except for Jason Takes Manhattan, and we all know how well that went. Most of the movie was him on the boat, and by the time he got to Manhattan, then he got killed off. Okay, so listen, if the main antagonist killer, whatever it is, makes it to the big city, he probably gonna die anyway. Get to the big city and then make your phone call. Don't go to the next town. Don't go to the next payphone. Don't go look in the hole. Just go. Keep driving and hope your car makes it wherever the hell it needs to make it so you can get to that safe spot where you know you're not going to be the next one getting dropped into that hole. I forgot to take my medication today. I'm having a little heart palpitations here. Okay. Next one, did not get a Blu-ray or DVD Blu-ray. I did get a DVD release. Sorry, a DVD. Did not get a Blu-ray or 4K release, and I got to tell you, it's a forgotten favorite of mine. But it was also made by the same people, person that made Jeepers Creepers. And if you are aware of the whole controversial thing behind the creator of Jeepers Creepers, yeah, he be a nasty person. Okay, he just be a nasty person. But the bottom line is, I listen. I'm like politics and religion. I try to keep that out of my movies too. I watched the movie for the movie, and I listen. I did not know when I first seen this movie or Jeepers Creepers, when I first saw Jeepers Creepers, what this guy was up to. I didn't know that this guy had a history of what he did. Okay, I just enjoyed the movie, and this movie right here, Clown House, is a very sought after, tough to get movie which stars a young what's his name? They're gonna say his name over here. Probably not. I wanted so bad to say Eli Roth, but that's not Eli Roth. It's the guy from the Green Mile. Okay, I can't remember his name. I'm trying to think of what is. I think it has an R in it. I'm not gonna look it up. You guys can comment below. Russ something. It's got a Russ something in it. Anyway, he's really young in this thing. But the deal is with this is that the guy that created the movie, just like Jeepers, the same creator of Jeepers Creepers, created this movie, and he had a fondness for younger people. Okay, let's just say that. And you don't, I wouldn't have like watching this movie. I watched it because I'm big into killer clowns. I like clowns that just be out, messing people up. And this one is actually a really good movie. I will tell you, if you are on the hunt for this title, be extremely careful. eBay is full of fake DVDs. Okay. If you want the real one, make sure you get the barcode. Make sure you ask to see a lot of pictures. Make sure, matter of fact, I'm gonna do this for you just in case, because there are a bunch of them on there. And you're gonna find them for like $18, $19, but you're not gonna get the real one. Make sure it has that kind of disc. Make sure that it's silver on the inside here. Let me take this out here. It's silver. Make sure you get the real one, because there are there's a lot of counterfeits on eBay. Matter of fact, before I did this video and I was pulling my movies, I was like, I'm gonna go on eBay just to see if my Clown House has increased in value, because it's out of print and they don't make them anymore. And there were so many of them that were like new, brand new, factory seals, brand new, factory seal, brand new, factory seal. And I'm like, okay, let's see how many pictures we got. And usually it'll be a stock photo. So I'm like, all right away, red flag, stock photo. You don't even have a picture of what the real thing is. Want to know why? Because you don't want to show me the back with the barcode to show me that it was actually official released by this MGM company. You want to not show me the back, because more than likely the one that you made does not have the barcode, or it might say special edition, or sometimes they put out of print and rare or whatever it is, but it's still not the real one. So please be very careful if you decide you're gonna buy Clown House. It's listen, killer clowns showing up and going after some children. Okay, that's what it is. So it's another one of these where, like an It, I love me some like young kids getting together, friends or brothers or whatever they might be, battling killer clowns or vampires, whatever it is. It just brings me back to like a childish part of my life. Okay, that's what I gotta say about that. And this one I thought I would pull because I do watch it every year, and I think I watch it every year because it is so sought after, because people have not seen it. And it actually is really, really good. Like it's I mean it's not gonna win any Oscars or awards or whatever, but I would say it's really, really good. But it will probably never see a Blu-ray or 4K light of day because of the controversy behind the guy that created Jeepers Creepers. I can't even think what the guy's name is, because like I said, I watched the movie to watch the movie. If I analyzed every person in the world for the things that they said, the things that they did, whatever, I probably wouldn't be watching anything. I mean, I know Tom Hanks has been saying some crazy stuff lately. Am I gonna stop watching Toy Story? Hell no. You know, it's just the way it is. Then we got Carrie, and let me tell you something right now. You could go with the OG Carrie, or you could go with the Chloe Grace Moretz Carrie, because I like them both. Okay, I love me some Carrie. I love me some telekinesis girl that like got a crazy religious mother, and she just wants to be a regular girl like everybody else. We got some John Travolta in here, some young John Travolta, and and the guy there, I think from the Greatest American Hero. I never get that. I never get that right. It's not the greatest. I don't think he's the Greatest American Hero guy. I think he's the guy from House, the horror movie House. I don't know. I always get them too confused. Or maybe I'm right. I don't know. Listen, you guys comment below. I make the same comment every time I talk about a movie with this guy in it. He a curly haired guy, blonde. And he always reminds me of the Greatest American Hero guy, but sometimes I get it wrong because I get him wrong with the Atkins guy from the Blue Lagoon. Sometimes I get all these people all confused. So, but anyway, so she wants to go to the prom, and her mother like, I can see your dirty pillows, and you can't wear that dress. Go in the closet and let me read the Bible to you, and over again till you go crazy and get your telekinesis going on. And then you start making knives and stuff fling across the house there. But listen, the deal is that the people what I feel when I watch Carrie, what I feel bad for is the other people that went to the prom. Okay, at the end of the movie, when they do it, listen, there's no mystery in the fact that, listen, she goes to the prom, she's so happy, she got the dream date and everything, and I'm gonna ruin the whole movie for everybody. So if you're not seeing Carrie, I'm sorry, but here I go. And these rotten, nasty people, these bullies that I probably grew up and you grew up with, that you probably couldn't stand, they drop some pig's blood on her head. Okay, and ruin the whole prom for her, and then she just goes bat crap crazy or whatever, and starts like burning the place down. But the only people I ever felt bad for was like the normal kids that would have been like, I would have been like one of those normal kids that just went to the prom and just wanted to go to the prom, mind my own business, and now all of a sudden now I'm burning or getting exploding or getting something shot at me or whatever because Carrie having a bad day. Listen, number one, I probably would have been friends with Carrie, because I was like a lot of my friends were girls back in the day, and a lot of my friends were girls that had a lot of issues, and they would come to me as a male, and they'd be like, oh, I'm having a problem with my boyfriend, or I'm having a problem with this, I'm having a problem with that. Can you help me out? And I was like, oh, I'm more than happy to help. So I probably would have been a friend of Carrie's. So maybe she would have been like, I'm about ready to lose my crap, and you can go out the side door, and I'm gonna put some chains around the door, and everybody else gonna burn. Okay, listen, I can only hope. Like I said, when I immerse myself in these movies, I try. I'm not the boyfriend. I'm not like the cool character. I'm one of the guys at the prom, and I'm like, I just came to go to the prom. I didn't come for you for all this, Carrie. Okay, I didn't drop no pig blood on you. I didn't ruin your night. Okay, I think you look lovely. Matter of fact, you look lovely in your dress. You look lovely. Okay, you do you, Carrie. Okay, that's me. And the last one. Yes, we're at the end. This video was long, and I appreciate you. Thank you for sticking out. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Yes. Happy Halloween. I love Halloween. Halloween's my favorite season, by the way. I have favorite holiday, okay? Actually, I don't really consider it a holiday as much as a whole month of October experience. I don't know about you. You can comment below on this thing, but when you think Halloween, do you think Halloween as October 31st, or you think Halloween as the whole month of October? Like you listen, the whole month of October, that's when they're putting out the decorations. That's when the stores are starting to change things. And that's when you're starting to see the costumes and people be having parties and all kinds of stuff. It doesn't just happen on Halloween night. It happens the whole month of Halloween. Spirits opens up. Matter of fact, Spirits opens up in September now. They really be like, yeah, we ready to go. Screw September. We're going right to October. But I love that. I love, listen, Halloween is just like I said, you get that crisp wonderful air. A lot of people, listen. I'm a believer in God. I'm a God believer. But listen, Halloween is fun. Okay, it's a fun season. You can dress up like somebody. You can be somebody else, and it's legal. Okay, you try dressing up like clown and go walking into Stop and Shop in the middle of let's say July, okay, and see how well you're going to be accepted, or a vampire or whatever. You see how accepted you're going to be when you go walking into that bank, okay, dressed up like I don't know, Terrifier. It probably ain't going to work out for you, okay. And I left Terrifier out, by the way, because he's one of my top horror characters nowadays too. So yeah, he here with us in spirit, but yeah, I couldn't bring him out here because I'm like, you made it, my friend. You made it to the Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Chucky, Pinhead, tall man group. You in the club. You in the club, Terrifier. Last movie, my favorite horror movie, and the one that I watched not only in October but year round, monthly, bi-weekly. Stephen King's Silver Bullet, starring Corey Haim and Gary Busey. And if you've watched my videos for a long time, you know how much I love and adore this movie. I think it's a perfect horror movie. Well, maybe not perfect horror movie for everybody, because some of you guys some of you guys want your really grotesque stuff. But as far as like immersing myself as a character, like I wouldn't want to be in a wheelchair, but I would love to have an Uncle Red. I would love to have an uncle like Gary Busey. Maybe not Gary Busey now. I think Gary Busey is an interesting person to begin with, so maybe I would. Okay, I just always thought he was a very interesting person. But the whole deal with you live in this cute little quaint town. It's all beautiful and perfect and everything like that. Next thing you know, you got a werewolf. You know what I mean? And the werewolf be like taking out your neighbors and taking out this, taking out that. But I once again, to go back to the lessons, he wasn't really messing with Marty, the Corey Haim character. He was kind of like leaving him alone. Marty kind of went at him. They told Marty to stay home, and Uncle Red gave him some fireworks, and he goes out at night, sneaks out the window. Maybe once again, hey, listen to mom and dad. Don't sneak out the window, especially if you're in a wheelchair. Okay, sneaks out of the house, gets in his silver bullet, which is named the Silver Bullet. If you haven't seen the movie, it's not really about. See, it's about. So there's a big part of them making a silver bullet, and it's awesome. Okay, that's one of my favorite parts of the movie is when Gary Busey goes in and Corey Haim and his sister there, Marty and his sister, they give him the necklaces and the medallions and stuff to melt down to make one silver bullet to kill the werewolf. I love that scene in the movie because the making of the bullet is like the original ASMR. To me, I don't know about you, comment below. When that old man, he goes, "So you want a silver bullet?" And he goes, what would I do with Gary Busey's like, what would I do with a silver bullet anyway? He's like, maybe you want to kill a werewolf. And I'm like, oh, I got chills. It's like it's like the original ASMR for me. But the bottom line is Marty gets on, he climbs out the window and with his fireworks, because they canceled the fireworks because there's a werewolf. They told you to stay in the house and there was a curfew because there was a werewolf. Marty sneaks out, shoots the werewolf in the eye with a bottle rocket, and now the werewolf wants to kill him. Now, there's all different kinds of wrong in that. Number one, don't sneak out of the house. Number two, fireworks in some towns, places are illegal. I don't know if they were illegal over in Marty's town or whatever. I did not see the warning or anything. But Uncle Red brought them in and told them to go hide them in the bushes. Listen, number one, anybody ever tells you to go hide something, it's probably something wrong, okay? He told them to stay close to the house. Marty not stay close to the house. He went for a long ride on that silver bullet to a place where he's launching off the rockets. He's giggling up a storm. Next thing you know, here comes the werewolf, shoots him in the eye, aggravates the werewolf. Next thing you know, the werewolf's out to get him. There's a lot of common sense in horror movies. Let me tell you something right now. A lot of just straight up common sense, okay? And education. Listen, educational. Okay, watch them. Yeah, now I know how to kill a werewolf. Okay, I gotta go melt down my silver, and I gotta make a silver bullet, and I gotta stay up all night, wait for them to show up at my house. But that would never happen. Wonder why? Because I don't leave my house. And when they said it was a curfew, I would have stuck to the curfew. I would have been like, I got no place to go anyway. I'm not. Why do I gotta go out? I'm not gonna go out. I'm gonna stay home and mind my business. Why? Because my best friend just got killed, and I don't want to get killed. I don't want to be the next one to get killed. Whew. I hope you enjoyed the video. Listen, I appreciate you. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. I'm not even going to hit you with a like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Happy Halloween. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, safe night. Be safe. Listen, I know back in the day, I remember when I was little. I'm gonna go. You know, back in the day, we had those plastic costumes. You know, the plastic masks that dug into your face, and it had that elastic band in the back. I was Mark. I was Mark one year. Mark and Mindy. Nanu Shazbut. Okay, I was Mark one year. I was E.T. one year. I was Superman one year. I'm trying to think of. I was Pee Wee Herman one year. Yes. Those costumes sucked. Okay. And I remember my mother used to be like, "You gotta wear a jacket," and I'm like, "But if I wear a jacket, it covers my." Look, over here it says Mark, and it says E.T., and it says you know, it's Pee Wee Herman. You know what I mean? You got me wearing a jacket. These characters don't wear jackets. You know, when you were young, you were willing to go out in the cold in order to represent the character that you were supposed to be. Okay, I was E.T. E.T. was not wearing a coat. Okay, he did not go around with a big furry coat on. We were walking around, and he wasn't wearing no bike reflectors, so you don't get hit by a car. Okay, he was going E.T. That was me. I'm walking down the street, my bag of stuff that E.T. I was doing that kind of stuff. So all I gotta say is that times have been changing. Things have been going on. Times they are changing. Matter of fact, back in the day, the biggest thing was that dad and mom had to inspect all my candy. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. I did it for my kids for a while, and then I was like, you know, I haven't heard any people sticking things in the candy in a while. You know what I mean? I'm not condoning it, and I'm not hoping we bring it back. But I know back in the late 70s, early 80s, this was a thing. You know, if you got an apple, be careful of that apple. Okay, there might be something in the apple. Okay, somebody might have stuck something in an apple. You know, my father used to go, but the reason why I think I don't do it is because, or I didn't do it in the past, is because my father would end up eating most of my candy. Okay, this is a truth. He would sort through the candy. Okay, and he'd go through the candy and be like, "Oh, Reese's peanut butter cup. Looks like something's wrong with this. Let me just make sure." And he'd eat it, and I'd be like, is there a waiting process to see if you hit the ground or not, or did you just want a Reese's peanut butter cup? Listen, there was obviously nothing wrong with that Reese's peanut butter cup. And then I found myself when I became a parent and I started doing the searching through the candy for my kids to see if everything was safe. Okay, I was doing the same thing. Like literally, we'd be walking still, and I'm like, "You got a Kit Kat in there? You got a Reese's peanut butter cup in there?" And I'm like, "It looks like it's sealed. Let me just." Yeah, it's good. It's fine. Okay, so that means the other two that you got from that guy perfectly fine too. Yeah, no, that's the thing. I don't think people do that anymore. I like to hope and pray that not everybody is crazy out there, and we can at least have one night where our children and families can get together and open their doors to people. The only thing that used to drive me crazy as a kid, I remember, and you could comment below, people that used to invite you in their house. I'm sure if you were a kid, you remember these one or two people. Like for some reason they were having a party, okay? And they had like a bunch of people that were like their cousins and like little boys, little girls, a whole bunch of people were there. And for some reason you knock on the door, ding dong, knock on the door, and they open up the door and they're like, "Oh, who are you supposed to be?" And I'm like, "Lady, I'm E.T. Look at me. Come on. It says on my shirt, E.T. You can't read E.T. It's 2 letters. E.T. That's why I'm a E.T. Oh, why don't you come on in? Why do I gotta come on in? Why do I have to come on in? I just walked up 3 flights of stairs to get to your apartment, and you got a bunch of people here. Can't you just hand me the candy? I can be on my way because you're cutting into my candy collecting time. You're messing me up right now. I should be gone already. I should have been gone about 5-10 minutes ago. But now I'm meeting your family and I don't even know. Look at him. He's E.T. Look, Marge, come over here. Look, it's E.T. You got lady. Listen, there's like 50 other ETs down the road. You're gonna see more ETs tonight. Listen, this is the year of ET, okay? The store near me, Zayas, Ames, or Bradley's, or Kmart, they sold like 5 bazillion of these costumes. Matter of fact, I saw 15 ETs just a block over. They're gonna see them too. You didn't need to invite me in the house, and now you're cutting my time, and now I got that feeling like you're gonna kidnap me too. On top of that, and now I feel like I need to personally check your candy because you invited me into your house, and you crazy, and you got all your makeup on. You're like, oh. All happy to see me like you know who I am. Listen, I'm not the real ET. I'm sorry that my costume with the elastic band and the big gigantic eyes are like this big. You can actually see my eyes coming in and there's blood dripping down because the mask is digging into my face for the last whatever hours. And then eventually the string on the back of the little thing would break on the back anyway, or you got too hot and that mask ended up inside your bag. And next thing you know, I'm ET. And I'm ET with this head. Okay, I'm Elliot from ET. Now, Mom, go get me that red sweatshirt because it's damn cold out here. And with that said, my friends, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. Happy Halloween, and I will see you later. You should have saved me some.